Previously on Blue Diamond Coasters.
I mean, that's still the once against
One!
And now for part 2. I actually forgot to film the intro in the hotel room, so just cut to me on the causeway. Honestly, this might be the most stressful part of the drive. Not the 5 hours I'm gonna do at night in a few days, but driving and filming on the causeway. While I'm trying to film here, I'll say I got here I think a bit too early because they haven't even opened the main parking lot yet. It's about 7:30 right now. The park doesn't open for me until 9, so I think the lady just kind of let me through, and hopefully I can either get through on the Magnum gate or I'll probably just turn back around and head back to the main gate, because I believe I can only use my early entry in the main gate. That gives me this excuse to drive back here. And that's the first time I've seen Steel Vengeance this close, complete. Much like the only one right here now. It's about hour 15 until the park opens for guests, so you won't get towed. But I've kind of experienced this before. I'm like the first person in the parking lot. When I arrived at Hershey Park like super early one day, I was like so early the parking attendants weren't even in the booths yet, so I just went on through. I've also arrived at Magic Mountain super early, so you know that shot in Vacation where they roll up to Wally World and the parking lot is empty? I've actually seen that in that park. Speaking of Vacation, I'm out here at the main gate and there's no one here. I mean, there's
Welcome to Cedar Point.
there, but there's no like person to run the security check.
Bags are subject to search prior to entry.
Where do I punch the
Please
moose?
hold on to all.
I've now made it in through security, first person through the security gates, and there's still like half an hour until the park actually opens. The gatekeeper's been testing. I saw Valraven make a test run. I kind of want to head to Valraven first, just to get it out of the way, because I know they'll get a super long line later, but I definitely want to get Millennium Force and then head back to Steve. I am now the first one in the park, and the running of the bulls has begun. I don't know if I should run either. Just got one back row ride on Valraven. I'll say this, that was better than I remembered. I kind of remember it being just kind of meh and forgettable, but actually thought that was a pretty good ride. It's no Griffin or Sheikra, it's probably no Yukon Striker either, but it's still pretty good. I was just filming a little bit for Hollywood Studios video on what new ride they should have to Great Adventure for the 50th anniversary, and I personally think it's going to be a dive coaster, just because it's going to follow what Fiesta Texas has been doing, and we've always been getting a ride that they got a few years later, so hopefully that'll be their next ride. Anyway, I think it's time for the horse. That was $199.
Oh yeah! You're getting ready to fly through your 10 feet into the sky. Goodbye.
back row on Millennium Force. I mean, it's good. Weird. I was getting like weird Superman Six Flags America vibes during some parts of it. I definitely want to come back later, get a front row ride, and let it warm up. But as right now, it's not the best coaster in the world, but it's all right. I guess it got blackjacked. So, I just rode Steel Vengeance. It was about middle train. I wanted the back, but it wouldn't let me take the back. But that was incredible. Like, insane. Just amazing. It just keeps on going. I'm gonna have to, I'm going back on so I can get some more rides, but initial reactions, it's top 2. It is very close to Velocicoaster. I'm gonna ride it a few more times and judge, but that was just insane. been a little bit since I've done a vlog portion. I got another ride on Steve. I'm getting closer to the back. I got row 8 the first ride, then row 10 the second ride. So hopefully when I come back to there later at the night, or later in the day, because the park closed for sunset, I'll be able to get a back row or maybe even front row. And then I got one ride back row on Maverick. That was great, although it feels a bit like redundant after riding Steve. It's kind of like a downgrade, but still a great ride, and I still prefer Velocicoaster. Although, by the way, they were playing on the Cedar Point TVs and the screen trailers for Jurassic World Dominion, so kind of weird seeing an ad for Jurassic World outside of Universal on a ride that is very similar to Velocicoaster. I also ran into Jack from New England Coaster Guy, or New England Coaster Fans, sorry. We actually met at Thrillathon a while ago. This man won both of them! And he only put in 2 tickets and he won both the Toro track and the Ka cable. Sorry, what do you have to say?
Among Us.
So, I think it's about time I have lunch. I was thinking about getting Chick-fil-A, but I don't know because that line looks pretty long. Well, I waited in that ungodly line for Chick-fil-A. Ended up getting a normal chicken sandwich. I wasn't planning on getting the refill cup until I realized they're good at all the Cedar Fair parks, so might as well get the season cup, then I can use it tomorrow and Thursday, and if I ever go to King's Dominion. To get the blue side of Gemini. Last time I was here I only did the red side, so now I can say I have both sides of Gemini. Now the only credit I don't have at Cedar Point is Wilderness Run. Now I was told that at Town Hall you can get a pass that will allow you to ride it without a kid. Town Hall was closed today and I went to the guest services stand next to it and they said that no such thing exists. So I'm gonna try and ask if the ride op can let me on, so we'll see how that goes. So I just want to ride it for one. It's the last coaster at Cedar Point I don't have, and also it's Intamin's first coaster, so a bit of history. All right, update. The ride op said, yeah, I do need a kid to ride. So I don't know, maybe the off chance there have kids, so bring them straight here, just so I can ride Wilderness Run.
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
What do you see? You do see a frog? Okay, I do see a frog, but I see something huge in that boat over there. Barry, I told you not to go smuggling through my... See, he's a smuggler. He goes through my garbage like every day, but at least Bandit's doing my laundry. Hey, thank you, Bandit. Whew, sorry about that, heel. Okay. We'll reach for the sky, right? Oh my goodness gracious, I was just playing along with you. That always works with me. Dang, well, you know, that is Edith Fox's cavalry horn, so you better watch your back.
You better watch your back, 'cause I don't know where you belong.
What's that supposed to mean?
Got to go! Get 'em, boys!
Who's that? Y'all, I think, oh no, get this boat going, y'all, stay down, they're shooting at us, oh my goodness gracious, they're just don't, I don't feel right.
Good thing I have it rigged to explode then. 2 points.
It worked! Thank you so much, partner! Very much for saving our butts. Hey, next time I'll buy you a drink at Bottle Company, alright? Okay. Woo! Don't even know who that guy is, but thank goodness he was here to save us. But okay, this is in fact the basilisk. So as long as you look her in the eyes, spray its venom directly at us, we will be fine. Okay, y'all, we're almost past. We're almost past Cat. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. We could pass the eyes now, but Thank goodness that's not our boat now. Woo! Okay, I think we are in the clear. All right, folks. Well, yeah, like I said,
Just did snake river expedition. That was actually really fun. It's a nice little different type of ride they have at the park. They don't really have any dark rides, so I guess this is a step in the right direction. But also, this exit platform gives great views of Dragster. I hope that someday I'll be able to ride this again.
Prepare to fast forward.
Preparing to fast forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forwarding, sir.
Alright, just rode Magnum XL 200. This time in the Magic seat. Y'all are gonna hate me for this. I still think it's like the most overrated coaster that I've been on. I'm sorry. I really wanted to like it, but it was just way too bumpy. The seatbelt was like wedged in between the restraint and got like dug into my stomach. And just, I don't know why I can tolerate the pain on Sky Rush, but can't tolerate the pain on that. So, sorry, Magnum. Someday. I mean, look, my whole thing is if Great Adventure can run King to Ka, I think Cedar Point should be able to run Top Floor Dragster. I went inside the Coliseum to get some shade and I found the massive Steel Vengeance model. I believe this was in Town Hall for a while. I guess they moved it to the back of the arcade, so it's really good. Well, this definitely is a different site. Wicked Twister has been completely removed and all of it is walled off. Some early photos have been coming in of what it looks like. It almost looks like they're building a restaurant there, which, alright, I guess. I mean, it sucks that they're not putting a new coaster there, but hopefully we'll be getting a new coaster soon, because it's weird to hear Cedar Point not get a coaster in 5 years almost.
Too crowded. Oh, too crowded.
That was interesting. One ride on Gatekeeper. It's alright still. I mean, I got an outside wing, which I was told was the better seat by the ride up, and it was kind of rattly, so I'm not a fan of rattly rides. I'm actually heading outside the park for a brief second just to get on some more sunscreen. The cloud's covering the sun right now, but it is really hot today. I think it's like the field temperature is in the 90s, so gotta stay hydrated. I'm walking back into my car, and by the way, I also bought a wooden model for Dragster. Every time I see it, I can knock on wood that didn't remove. As I'm walking back, Gatekeeper is stuck on the left toe. Not again. There seem to be some red shirts helping them, so I don't know if they're getting evac or someone pulled a phone out. If it's the latter, I want to beat up that guy. keep your phones in your pocket. Don't take them out during the ride. As Gatekeeper is down for maintenance, Raptor is also down for maintenance. It looks like it's testing right now, so hopefully I'll be able to get in this soon.
Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train at all times. Enjoy your ride on Millennium Force. Attention riders, cell phone use, taking pictures, and filming are prohibited on this ride. Hats, scarves, and other free-flowing clothing must be removed and secured. Not be secured in a waist pad or cargo pocket must be left in the locker. Failure to comply may result in ejection from the car. As a reminder, Cedar Point is not responsible for anything lost or damaged while riding.
Just got off front row Millennium Force. That was much better than it was this morning. I was able to get some good airtime going over those two hills. You could definitely feel the speed. In fact, I got a really good picture of me going through the tunnel. You can definitely see, like, my eyes were trying to stay open the whole time. And it's definitely better than last time I was at Cedar Point and I rode Millennium Force in the front row, because I rode that in like middle of July and it was very buggy that night. I probably ate at least like 5 bugs on that ride and probably 10 more bugs on Dragster. Got a front row ride on Maverick. That was a bit of a trouble to get because the line for Steel Vengeance was too long that if I got in it, I wouldn't be able to get last ride. So I went over to Maverick and it was down, and I waited for it to reopen, and that way I could get immediately on it, and then I could head over to Steel Vengeance, and it's currently 7:49, so I should be able to wait by the entrance and head on in at 8 o'clock and get last ride of the night. And hopefully my locker that I got a while ago, sorry, that was a whole story. I bought the locker and it came up with like a different message saying like, oh, if the stuff's in the park or stuff's in the locker until after park closes, you gotta send this services, blah, blah. But it didn't print a receipt, and I never looked and checked what the number was because I always expect the receipt to come out. So I ended up having to get a second locker and took a picture of the number, so now I remember. But I'm just hoping it doesn't expire when I get that. have gotten the last 2 rides of the night. They let us go again. So I now have 5 rides on Steel Vengeance, and both those 2 rides were in the back car, row 11, so not the very back, but close enough. It's still great. I think I'm settled on it being number 2. So. Oh yeah. Bye, Jack. Hey, you still got that El Toro and Ka track, right?
Yes.
So is it like this Among Us?
El Toro
Yes.
Among Us?
El Toro Among Us.
El Toro Among Us?
El Toro Among Us?
Valraven Among Us? It doesn't fit as well. It really doesn't fit as well.
Valraven, or as I called it, Sandy Striker, or Sandusky Striker. It's like Yukon Striker, but not.
Beach Striker.
That's good.
Beachcomber. Beachcomber, that's it.
There you go. Anyway, yeah, I think I've settled on it being number 2, which, I mean, it's still an 11 out of 10 ride for me. It is amazing. I think Cedar Point, though, is still my 4th favorite park, still behind Islands of Adventure, Hershey, and Disneyland. But overall, this is a fantastic last little few rides on Steel Vengeance, and now I have to make it to the very front of the park. It's funny. When I got here this morning, the parking lot was practically empty. Now when I'm leaving, the parking lot is practically empty.
Well, that was a fun and fulfilling day. I'm now in the hotel in Mason after about 4-hour drive in the middle of the night. I want to give a shout out to a podcast I listened to, Escape from Walt Disney, run by one of my favorite YouTubers, Tony Goldmark. In fact, you see his name in the credits as an inspiration of mine. But his podcast keeps me awake on these drives, so go watch his podcast. But yeah, this is an amazing day at Cedar Point. I was able to get a ton of rides on Steel Vengeance, which I think is now set as my number 2 coaster, right behind Velocicoaster, but it's a very close second. And I also got to go on Millennium Force and Maverick again and just explore one of my favorite parks. It's not my favorite, but I totally agree why people think it's the best theme park in the world. So now I'll just have to see how Kings Island stacks up to it, because I even hear people say that Kings Island is better than Cedar Point. So we'll see that tomorrow. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see that video. Make sure to also follow Blue Diamond Coasters on Instagram and TikTok for more content and updates and shenanigans like that. And until next time, later. Next time on Blue Diamond Coasters.
No! 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 Oh, shit!
Steel Vengeance. We have what it takes to saddle up and plunge down its unforgiving 90-degree drop, to stomach the most gravity-defying coaster on Earth, to rip through nearly 6,000 feet of wood and steel as you ricochet left and right. Or are you gonna cut and run?
I'm number 1. You're number 2. You're lucky to be number 2, not number 3.